If you're tired of struggling with communication in your relationship, listen to this. All right, so let's talk communication with our partners. Now, let me give you a secret. Let me tell you a secret about communication. You could only communicate with your partner as well as you are able to control and regulate and contain your emotions. Now, when there's conflict in a marriage, emotions are high, right? We get triggered, we get angry, we get frustrated, we get hurt. And what happens is we take all of those emotions and we project them onto our partners and we're throwing it all onto them. So then what do? They get defensive, right? They circle the wagons. They get angry. They get frustrated. So then it's like you guys are just projecting your emotions back and forth, throwing them at each other. And that's not good communication. Good communication comes from the ability to contain your emotions, which means you do not let your emotions control you. You control your emotions. And especially when you communicate. Now, communication with your partner, the best advice that I can give to you is when you are communicating with your partner and you're having a conflict, it doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be negative. Just because you guys are disagreeing doesn't mean that it's bad, right? Maybe it's a great opportunity for you guys to learn. Maybe it's going to be a very positive experience where you guys can hash things out, figure things out, and grow as a couple, right? It does not have to be negative. And there's a breakdown of communication. What we do is we make it all about ourselves. Okay, we focus all on ourselves, how we feel, what we think, what we've been through. And we're too busy worrying about ourselves during the communication that we don't listen to our partners, that we don't listen to understand. So instead of making it about us, we need to make it about the solution. Now, the only way to find a solution through communication is by listening. That's the only way you can discover a solution. It's almost like you got to play detective, right? You got to ask questions. You got to listen. You can't make it all about yourself, right? And as you do that, and as you listen and understand, use empathy, use kindness, use love. I mean, this is your spouse, right? The more you use those things to truly understand where your partner is coming from, why they're feeling the way they're feeling, you can make the problem about the solution. Now, there's a thing called the mirror mindset. The mirror mindset is when it's like imagine you're surrounded by mirrors and everywhere you look, all you see is yourself, right? So that is when we make everything about ourselves, and that's when there's a breakdown in communication. Now, there's a thing called the window mindset. So instead of looking around and seeing your reflection in everything, imagine you're standing at a window and you're looking through at your partner. And when you're looking through at your partner, remove yourself from the situation and look at them as if you're observing them through a window. And you're seeing like, oh man, it's almost like a movie. If you're watching a movie about somebody and you see where they're coming from, you're like, oh man, I could totally understand why they're acting that way because I'm getting the full story, right? So you need to get out of that mirror mindset and into a window mindset. And you need to not make it about yourself. You need to make it about the solution. And you need to listen. You need to control your emotions. And you need to show empathy, kindness. Now, remember, I'll say it again. The conflict or the argument or the communication or the disagreement does not have to be negative.